Hello guys, what's up? This is ScherBR talking. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about romancing SaGa universe. We will be talking about the Heir of the Silver Heart event. This event is very interesting because it's actually the first part of a three-part event series for the Pirate Festival. On the Japanese version, this event was released alongside the Golden Week, so this is why they released so many events based on pirates. And these characters are limited. You only have now to summon for them. They will still appear, only one new banner will have them together. So you have to decide if it's worth to summon them or not. And I'm here to try to guide you into this decision. So let's click here on trial so we can talk a little more about Selma. We have Quick Trust as a first skill. Unfortunately, it's not the highest damage for the first skill. It's 5 BP with only D power. I know that's very close to C, but it's still D and doesn't have so much power. The second skill is called Light Speed, that has B power with 8 BP cost, very average, but also carries the special effect that increases the agility of the user. This one is actually interesting, but there's a fundamental problem with Selma. Right now we only have one formation that increases dexterity, and it's Hunter's Gambit, that you need to use Selma on the backlines. And by using on the backlines, she loses agility on that formation, and increasing a little more won't be enough to get her to attack before the enemy. So Light Speed doesn't have a use right now, but in the future when we get more formations that increases dexterity without affecting agility, this will be better. So the last skill is called True Love, and True Love is, well, very similar to what we had with Cordelia. You see, Pierce plus cold damage can be very interesting when the enemy is more weak against cold, because we have better options with Pierce. We even have, like, say, Shaw, that has Triumvirate, that deals more damage with less BP cost. But in this game, when they add a new element to attack, they either increase the BP cost or reduce the power. Here we have both. Less power and more increased BP cost. That's why I don't think it's so interesting to have this skill on your setup. You can just build a character that uses ice damage and a character that uses pierce damage, but with Selma you have both, but with a lower damage potential. So yeah, we have, let's just see the animation for this. It's amazing. I think it's very unique. Okay, so let's click here on style details so we can check her style. You see that she gets more dexterity and agility. She's one of those happier users that try to attack first, try to get the upper hand on battle. But I usually prefer characters that are the buffers to high agility, so I think she would have been better having more endurance, because in the future we can use her in the front lines as well, and her endurance is very bad. The other status are not so important. Intelligence can be important because we can inherit some skills for S Selma that can be farmed in the event. Okay, so this is S Selma. You see that she has Feint. That's very nice because it inflicts stun. It's even better than the first skill of SS Selma. And the second one is Shock Rush, that is 7 BP for a medium chance of applying Paralyze, but it's C damage. The last one is Sword Ballet, another very important skill in the game, because it's just AoE damage without having too much BP cost. You can just awaken it once and get to 10 BP, and Seeker's Path and other events that has only one wave will be way easier if you have characters that can use this type of stuff. It's strange because I would prefer her to have all of these skills with her SS version instead of her S version. Back to SS Selma, we have to talk about her abilities. You see, Hardy Wallop increases her damage on full HP, so she'll be even better on the new content, the Hidden Dojo, Seeker's Path, stages where you only have one wave. She also has Fighting Spirit, that's better for long fights because it will need her to attack first to get the buff. It's a very good buff. It's very similar to what Christmas Monica also gets. And Fired Up 4, these two things are the same as Christmas Monica. So she's competing against Christmas Monica. The good thing is that True Love can at least get to 10 BP if you awaken it twice. Very nice in my opinion, but still less power. Okay, so this was Selma, a character that tries to compete against other happier users, but if you already have Christmas Monica or a very strong fake Robin, you really don't need Selma. Unless you really need cold damage. You'll be getting her for cold damage, and not for just the happier skills. The second one is Hawke. Let's click here on trial. Hawke is kind of on a strange situation. He's very offensive, he has very good skills. He starts with Spinning Strike, that's C power, 5 BP, very good. And Crescent Slash, that's very similar to what we have with Alway. But he trades the last skill to get, instead of single target damage, which is no effect, he gets Taunt. It's very similar to Steel Blade for Albert. So he's kind of competing with Albert, but without providing enough reasons for you to use him as a tank. It doesn't really matter if you can inflict Taunt on your enemies if you do not have anything to back up as a tank. And the reason why we use univerSe in Albert is because they also have access to parry, and Hawke doesn't have access to parry. Not only that, but he doesn't have anything that further increases his resistance against damage. He has fired up 3 instead of 4, okay. Draining attack 3, this is actually interesting, but not enough to suggest him to take all the incoming damage. When he attacks, he has a chance to recover HP, but I would much prefer a passive that will have a chance to heal when he is attacking, and not when he attacks. You see? He's actually a very offensive pseudo tank that doesn't really tank at all. That could be used on Speculation on the front line. So Speculation also increases the aggro chance to the first character, and he being on the first can just get lots of taunt. But then you will need like 2 healers to help out keeping this guy alive. He will not be alive much time. univerSe can also revive when he dies, so the competition is too strong here, and this is why Hawke could not provide so much usefulness with only his abilities. The last one I didn't talk is that he can also enter a taunt chance with a 100% chance. This is actually different than Albert's, for 4 turns on the start of a fight. This is good for some situations where the enemy will try to nuke you, but then you just guarantee the Hawke will die. Maybe that is cool, but not enough for me. So you see the Hawke Blade is very, very similar to Steel Blade, but the only difference is that Steel Blade will always attack last. That's a delay with the attack, but this one does not attack last, so it increases even more the chance of getting taunt if he attacks first. Speculation will also increase his agility, so this is everything that this Hawke has. So we have A and S Hawke to inherit from. Vertical Smash can reduce the endurance from the enemy. There's critical damage against Insect. The power is super high for 9 BP. Even if it attacks Insect, it will be even better damage. The main is actually reduce agility. So I don't think it's so important having this. So Vertical Smash is way better, in my opinion. So the last comments, I must say that Hawke is a character that do not fit exactly much different gameplay styles. He's fully offensive. He do not bring anything new to compensate the competition against Albert or univerSe as a full tank. Just use him as a way to provoke the enemy and just know that he will probably die. So the next character is Butcher. But the problem with Butcher is that he only gets one SS style in the future. He will get an A style as well, but he will not be so interesting if you're only thinking about the future. The first skill is Tomahawk. It's an indirect attack that can be used against enemies that want to counter you. 3 BP, very cheap. And Rough Breaker is an attack that can be very nice. You see, 8 BP cost, B power, very similar to Submission, but it's slash damage. It has a chance to reduce the enemy's STR. But the problem is, do Butcher has enough intelligence to keep landing STR debuffs? We need to talk about it, not just keep giving a look on his skills. The last one is Rolling Smash. This one is actually not good at all. Only C power with 15 BP. So I don't think you will be using this. If you want to use Butcher, you will probably just use Rough Breaker all the time. Let's see if he gets some intelligence here. And the answer is no. He has a penalty even to intelligence. So while he seems good on paper, low intelligence actually is detrimental to having good chances of inflicting STR debuffs. And not only that, this is a little of a waste because he has 2 Enervates. You see Enervate 2 for Will and Enervate 2 for Endurance. So when landing attack, he can reduce the Will and the Endurance of the enemy. So this means that you keep getting even more damage with your characters, that being mages or physical damage dealers. And well, yeah, he also has Hardy Wallop that increases the damage when he is on full HP. This doesn't really make sense because he is using on stages where you want debuffs in Stages that you want debuffs are challenges or boss stages. That means that using him with full HP will not be something that will happen all the time. So, Butcher is not so interesting in my opinion. Wrathbreaker is good to pass on his future SS style, but he only has one, and it will be limited again. So, well, this was Butcher. Let's see about Guella. Does this version of Guella get anything interesting for inheritance? Because, you know, we do not use the styles for damage or for real usage. So let's check Guella. He has Reaper. Reaper is not so much of a bad skill. It's E power. The cost is a little too high on 7 VP. Can only be reduced to 6 because this is the first slot skill and can only awaken it once. It inflicts a stun if you attack the enemies, but there's a low chance. Charge is C powered 7 VP. It's a skill that could be way better than it is. And the last one is Divine Lancer. That is only S damage with a chance to debuff the dexterity. This is kind of unique. We don't have many skills that can reduce the dexterity of the enemy. So could be useful in some situations, but only if you're thinking about using SS Guella in the future. I don't think it's so good to have this or guarantee these for inheritance. And now comes the important question. Is this banner worth to summon for? Well, in my opinion, no. Well, it depends if you have a very strong Pierce attacker. If you are desperate for one, Selma can be your girl. She could be like an 8 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10. For Hawke, I think he's a 6.5 or 7.0 out of 10. And Butcher is just 6.5 or 6 out of 10. It does not really work as intended, and his passives could have been way better. We don't talk about Guella because we only use A styles for inheritance. And now let's just talk about the event. Well, I will be clicking here on exchange. You see that we have lots of things to purchase from the event. I already purchased my Selma, but only her. She costed me 3.5k of the silver currency. We also have a gold currency. This will only has a chance to drop if you are using the featured characters on battle. It can be any version of Hawke or Guella or Selma or the new characters from the banner. I was using as Captain Hawke just to have a chance to drop it, and I already have 3. It will take me some time to get enough because I need 13, not so much. You see that we can purchase Pan Flute. It's very nice, increases 2 dexterity and 1 endurance without any negative effect. After that we have this 8 gen golden box. I think it gives 10 gems. I'm not so sure because I didn't purchase it yet. So you have to purchase 3 times, one with gold currency and another one with silver currency. After these 3 items, they are the most important after Selma. You also have a chance to get this stamina potion. It's the limited one. You get to purchase it with 150. It's not so costly, so I suggest you trying to get it. Next, instant expedition ticket is also good if you think about it. It's not so costly as well, but it's I think you don't really need this. Not even the stamina. We have too many of this stuff given away on this game already, and the only thing that really matters for me is the silver pieces because I want to get some characters maxed as soon as possible. Do not in any occasion try to get this Dwelling Blade here. It costs you 7,000 and it's a story weapon. You can get this weapon on story. It comes with dexterity, but I'm pretty sure you will be using less stamina trying to farm this with the dexterity instead of just purchasing it. It's 7,000 silver currencies. Too much. Do not do this. I will also be getting the S Selma pieces because I want to get this character maxed. She's pretty nice. All of her 3 skills are useful. But about the other characters, I don't think I'll be getting the pieces. S Butcher is only useful if you got him. Same for A Guella. You cannot make A Guella just by using the pieces. The game will only give you 25 if you purchase 5 times, and you need 50 to form the character. As Guella is not so good, only if you were thinking about getting it to level 42. That's enough for the things on the shop. And well, I will be talking about the stage that I'm farming. I'm just farming on very hard stage 1, so I can get enough currency. And this time you only have a stage number 1 and stage number 5 with the increased drop 3 times in a day. And it's not stage 10, they changed that. That's very nice because The last stage on very hard is usually not so easy to farm, especially on this event. The last stage is very hard this time. The boss has lots and lots of HP. He's not alone. The other characters are also very, very strong. And well, I will just show you how I defeat this boss here by using my squad. So let me just check the boss here. You will see that he's weak against some, fierce, and also cold. He can also be poisoned. That's a good strategy that you can bring here because he has lots and lots of HP. I think I will even be changing my Azami to the Christmas version. So that will help me a little. Let me just change it for... yeah, let's see if it works. You can also use Leonid here just fine if you are having problems dealing damage. So I will just get at least Punishing Palm. So maybe I need Punishing Palm. The boss itself is a little resistant against Blunt. So... most of my damage will be coming from Monica. And I'm using, let me see here, Speculation Formation. Doesn't increase Christmas Monica damage, but it's still enough to maybe deal good damage with Azami, Poison, and I have Noel here as well. Well, we'll be seeing what happens here. I already finished with this setup, so it should be fine. I'm also using Undine and Princess White Rose. I really love those two characters, and they work well here as well. The enemy is a little weak to cold and sun, so pretty fine. I just suggest you to save your BP on the start. I will be using normal attacks. I think I'll use magic because they don't cost too much BP. Now I will just use Chocolate Ball and Ice Javelins. Let's finish with normal attack. Now this enemy here is strong against Blunt. And Pierce. Actually, no resistance against Blunt, but weak against magic. Fire, lightning, and cold. Okay, but he can be paralyzed. I just don't have anything to paralyze. Actually, Mia Lua Compasso can paralyze. Instead, I don't think I need this. Let's just use Tumble can stun. Yeah, let's try to stun with Tumble. And well, let's just use normal attack against this one. Maybe Shock Rush against this one here. And Chocolate Ball, Ice Javelins. Well, it didn't stun the enemy, but it's okay. At least one of them is paralyzed. Whoa! Nice. So I will just use now Tumble again. And just... oops. Use normal attack. That will help us get Overdrive ready as well. Well, we just stunned this enemy. White Rose is still not on Overdrive. To be left out. So you see there's 3 enemies here on the last wave. The boss itself is kind of hard. Cyclops. Again, he's weak to Fierce, Sun, and Cold. Can be poisoned. But in order to have a better chance to poison him, we need to kill the other 2 enemies. For now, we won't not be using my Overdrive. I think I will be saving. So I will be... Did I save? I think no. I will be using it. Because I don't want to get attacked by those enemies. And they have resistance against cold. And this other one here has resistance against slash and moon. Okay. Can be stunned. That I will be using my Overdrive, so I don't want to get attacked. I'll be using Lunar Blade. And then Sultan Cross against Cyclops. Mega Wine Blast. And Jagged Eyes. You see? Even doing all this damage, the normal enemies are not dead. You're not dead. And now I will be using Punishing Palm again. I have to. And normal attacks on the Cyclops. Other Southern Cross. Chocolate Ball. I will not be healing yet. I will take my risks. Nice Javelin. Okay, now one is dead. Southern Cross did a lot of damage. There's only the boss now. We'll be fine. We didn't need poison, but we could. And yeah, this boss is down now. I will not be showing strategies for the other stages. It's just that... Whoa, I just got a hidden hindrance. Nice. Can get 2 more. So, yeah, I will not be running any strategy for the other stages. I don't think there's too much need of that. I just want to thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. We'll see each other on the next one. Bye.